Hello, welcome to Matt Bayeski YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about self-help. A little bit of self-help to help us through a time when it can be the most challenging moment of your life. But to finalize on this, I am living proof that after this subject that I talk about, that you can end up in the most amazing situation and feelings and life and path and journey than you could have ever imagined. So if you are in a place of shock, despair, utter sadness, then I'm here to show you as living proof. There's thousands, if not millions of people end up being in this situation afterwards and becoming stronger and more healthier and more happier than they could ever imagine. So today's topic is one which is very, very real, very raw, very common. As a healer over the years, I would have probably sat with a dozen beautiful souls each week for 16 years and helped them through this particular situation. And also, I never used to really allow partners to come and sit with me, very rare, because I preferred to give them the information individually. No other reason that it is far more pure and more healing separately. That's what I found. So the subject matter today, the topic of conversation, is my partner came home and told me he is not happy with his life and wants to move on without me. And now he's gone, or is with me, but he's just dropped this bombshell on me. So we're going to talk about that today, if that's okay with you. First of all, truth is the energy that sets you free. Truth means that you're willing to face up to you, your life, your inner demons, your challenges, the darkness that surrounds us all, the fear of the what ifs, and so on. So, first of all, if you're ready to actually truly take the next step in a direction that may help, I'm willing to talk to you now and share that with you. My story was many years ago. I was waiting for my wife then to come home, and she didn't. She came home in the early hours of the morning. I knew something was wrong, but didn't want to face it. And I remember crying at one point, sat at a table the following day crying, because I knew something was really wrong. Nothing was said, but I knew something was really wrong. The day came when I was told that this isn't going to work and you better leave. So I remember packing my bags and walking down the stairs, and that feeling of, what is that feeling? What is it? How do you put it into words? Lost? Empty? Shock? All of those things. I went away from that situation, and a lot of you already know that I took some tablets and put them in my mouth because I just thought life wasn't worth living anymore. I guess that's a reaction. And I guess that's one solution. Not! It's a desperate measure of not knowing what to do. I was really lucky enough to hear a voice. And that voice just said, "Mark, what are you doing?" It's like, come on, wake up! And it is. You're like, my God, what did I just nearly do then? So first of all, if you're in that situation, you need to go into the mirror and look at yourself, or sit down and just look at yourself and realize that you are really important in this world. Far more important than what you're going through now. Far more important than the pain, the feeling of being let down, the feeling of everything going wrong, feeling like you've got no good luck, everything's gone wrong, you're cursed, all of that. That's just your mind being utterly ridiculous because it knows nothing else. Okay? Because that's what we've been programmed to believe. We're a failure, everything's gone wrong, if a marriage splits up. And I just want to confirm something, and I know you're not going to like this, but it's true. You've been programmed to believe that. Do you know why? Because a marriage or a partnership is exactly that. It's a business transaction. So either way, you're in a situation where it's a business deal. That's what you've been programmed to believe. That's what it really is. But actually, it's far more than that. It's ridiculous, really, when you think about it. But that's what you believe. Okay, well, the wedding cost this much. My father and mother spent all their money, savings for our wedding. Investment in a partnership. Investment. So the partnership becomes a business. Where's the love gone? Where's the openness? Where's the understanding? Where's the freedom? There ain't any. You know why? Because you've bought into it. So when you clear all that away and you look at it for what it is, in its rawness, in its truth, only two things can happen in a relationship, really. You either stay together or you you come apart. And the funny thing is, that beautiful moment when you came together to share the experience of whether you're together with children, have children, don't have children, whether you experience love, beatings, being an emotional punch bag all your life, whatever it is, they're all an experience for you. And that experience, one day you will look back and realize, wow, how strong you are now and what you've learned. And without all of that, you wouldn't be where you are. But that's in your future. That's coming. That's going to happen, and you're going to have a smile on your face like you could never imagine. So this moment, you're feeling like you've been rejected or you've done something wrong. First of all, you're not being rejected, and you have done nothing wrong. That's all an illusion in your mind. So, what do we do and where do we go from here? Well, having worked with thousands of people who have gone through this, what is the most powerful reaction? What is the most powerful footstep to take thereafter, now that you know what you know? Well, ask yourself this question. When you met your partner, did you love them? Did you fall in love with them? If the answer is yeah, of course I did, then today nothing has changed. You still love them for what they were back then. Whatever's happened to you, you still love them. Deep down, if you're feeling hurt now and in pain, you still love them one way or another. Even if you say you hate them, you don't want to see them, you don't want them to see your children, whatever the circumstances it is, you're doing it because you're hurt and you're reacting. And that reaction actually causes more damage to your children, to you, and to your partner, who, remember, loved you and had children with you and stayed with you. So that love never dies. That love is always there, and it'll always stay in your heart. That love is the bit you need to hold on to right now. Okay, so what I mean by that is, don't look at what he's doing now as if who he is or she is. Because life, if there's one thing I've learned, is that you can't rely on anything at any given moment, because everything changes. And the only thing that's constant every day is change. Change. And that change, you either live in fear of the change, or you live in happiness and flow and balance with that change, with excitement and exhilaration and adventure, no matter what the change is. So take for instance a situation that somebody's in a relationship with somebody. They can fear that relationship because they know that maybe one day the partner's going to leave, and then for all that time that they're with them, they've been fearing that, and then all of a sudden the partner leaves and then they wonder why. Well, you brought it on yourself, you were fearing it, so it's bound to happen. Whereas if you're with somebody and you enjoy every day and it's an excitement, then that time that you had together was beautiful, and that's what you hold on to. The bit of leaving and having to leave is the challenge, because what a lot of people don't understand is that before we come into this world, we choose a certain soul to walk along our path with. So we walk together side by side, whether it's for a day, an hour, a week, a month, a year, 20 years, 50 years. But there does come a point that the agreement of whether you stay together until your entire life, or whether you decide to go on a journey till a certain point, what you've learned, what you've needed to learn from each other, and now we need to learn something else, so we need to go on our own path, is something that in my world should be rejoiced. I understand that you might be watching this now and switching it off, saying that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. How can I rejoice losing the man I love or the woman I love? Well, if you live for the rest of your life feeling that, ask yourself, is that more important than living the rest of your life in happiness? If you want to live the rest of your life in happiness, then keep watching this. If you don't, and you want to live in fear and anger and blame and hate, then switch off, because that's what will happen. You see, the moment that you and your partner have served their miracle of a divine path journey together is the moment that in my world we sit down and we give each other a hug and we become very honest with each other and speak the truth about how we feel. Now here's the thing. Do you love your partner? Is the answer yes? Okay, well if it's yes, if you can see your future for the next 10 years now, and you saw your partner feeling sad every day being in the relationship with you, and they can't snap out of it, they feel bad no matter how much love and cuddles, and they just don't feel anything anymore because they feel lost and they don't know why, and they don't feel complete, they don't feel content with life, they feel lost. Ask yourself this question: would you rather be with that person feeling like that for the next 10 years, knowing that they're not going to change? Or are you going to be open enough to say, I love you this much that I don't want to see you upset and I want you to be happy? So you have my blessings to go and find yourself, and I am here as support for you, as a friend, not as a marriage certificate or a ring, but as a friend that I loved then and I still love now, no matter what you're going through. I don't understand what you're going through, but I am willing to support you because you're the father of my children, or that I've invested my love and time with you as you have for me, and I've become part of you now. So I'm not going to argue and fight and get angry with you, because you are a gift. And a gift to me is not something I hold on to its value, because that's never a gift. I hold on to you as you being a gift without any value that I hold. So I've done this for you, I've done that for you, so you should give me back. No, you've been a gift in my life. You owe me nothing. And I am so thankful for what I've learned and how I've grown, and the suffering that you've given me, the pain that you've given me, and the love that you've given me, and the happiness that you've given me. I cherish that all. That's made me the person that I am today. So thank you for the lessons, and thank you for the time that we shared together. So if you need to go, then yeah, of course I feel bad because I love you. And you know, last thing I want to do is lose you, but I love you that much that I'm not going to fight you. I'm not going to tell you you're a bad father or you're a bad partner. I'm not going to say you're a cheat and you're a liar, you're a fraud. I'm not going to say any of those things. I'm not going to say them because I know if I did, I'd be saying it because I'm angry. Because if that all disappeared now and you're stood next to me, I'd love you just as much as I love you now, but I can't show that love because I've been told and programmed to get angry with you. And now the partnership is split, or should I say it's dissolved. Now it's dissolved, we need to get solicitors. That is the system coming in now to then grab all your assets, but at the same time feed the system with a greedy system that's going to take all of your money and you're going to end up with very little. So you see, there is a bigger picture here, and the darkness weaves its magic, dark black magic into you both. So you end up with nothing and you end up hating each other, and all the money's gone because it's fed because of pride and greed and what you've been brainwashed to do. Go to the solicitor. Stuff the solicitor. Sit down and talk about it with each other. It's got nothing to do with the system. Talk about it together. So, and I don't care whether he's cheated on you. I don't care. I don't care whether she's cheated on you, he's cheated. I don't care. If you're sat in front of me, I don't care, because you know what? That's got nothing to do with this. It's nothing to do with this at all. They cheated on me. They did this. It's their fault. No. That doesn't work here. Not in this place. This place is, if somebody does what somebody does, it's not out of hurting you. They didn't do it to hurt you. And let me tell you, they will live with that burden for the rest of their life, and they will suffer 10,000-fold more than you. So don't make it even worse for them, because what they've done, they're going to pay in their own way inside when they wake up every night or every morning feeling the pain and suffering that they're going to have to go through from now. So that doesn't wash here at all. So, and there's so much joy out of this at the end of it. When you look back and you say, I'm so thankful for that woman who did what she did to you and what you did to that woman, because now I'm with this person. I've never been as happy in my life. So thank you so much. That's the truth. That's what happens. You know when that happens? When you let it go and say, I'm happy for you. If you're happy with somebody else and you really, then I'm happy for you. And the day that you stop measuring yourself to the other woman or the other man is the day that you'll realize that you're no longer in prison. Because when you're measuring yourself against all of that, the reality of all of that is nothing like what you think. Oh, he's left me, or she's left me because they've got bigger boobs or they're younger. Let me tell you, that relationship, will have a lot of crap and a lot of pain and a lot of suffering that you'll never see. So don't look and pretend that they have a blissful life. Oh no, anybody who does that kind of thing will have to go through their suffering. And that's what I feel sorry for more than you. But what I want for you is to let that go and send your love there. And do you know why? Do you know why? Because you are more important than any of that. Your happiness and your joy right now to move forward is the most important thing of your life. Because if you live with the thought of what he did, she did, or what they're doing, in anger, in worry, in fear, in resentment, in jealousy, in bitterness, then guess what you are going to be? There is a saying, and it's really simple. You become what you hate. Therefore, if you are here watching still now, and you are going through that situation, I am here to say thank you for still watching, because it means that you are strong enough. Strength comes when you are able to forgive, let go, but more importantly, to understand. So I understand what happened in my relationship, because my partner wasn't happy, wasn't fulfilled. But that wasn't me, because you can't fulfill a partnership. You can't fulfill happiness. Only that person can fulfill themselves. And consequently, that person is going to go through the same in that relationship and the next one until they find their happiness, right? Do you understand that? Is it a bit too deep? I'm sure it's not. But the point being is that you try to blame yourself for what you couldn't give in the relationship because you think that you weren't enough and that other woman or other man is enough. Isn't. It's all wrong. It's not true. It had nothing to do with you. Nothing. So every individual who goes through a breakup, whether I feel like I don't want to be in a relationship, isn't because of the relationship. It's because I am unfulfilled inside me. And maybe what happens to a lot of people is that they go into a relationship thinking that that person's going to fix them or heal their heart or fill that hole somewhere that is the emptiness. And that never happens. And thus they go into one relationship into another. And the challenge for most people is they don't know how to fill that in and to be happy with themselves and to love themselves. Because when you love yourself, you don't need anybody else. When you don't need anybody else, that is the perfect time to be with somebody. Because you're not in a relationship for need. You're in it for being equal and walking an equal path together. And again, being in a relationship to try and help somebody else and fulfill their hole is an absolute waste of energy. Because it ain't going to happen. So you are where you're meant to be. The pain that you're going through is exactly as it should be. Pain is inevitable in life, but suffering is optional. So how long do you want to suffer is up to you. Do you believe suffering and hurting yourself and causing you illness, which you will if you continue, is it worth it when you look back in 10 years and see how beautiful your life was? Or is there and then think, wow, I'm glad all that happened, because that's what will happen. You will be glad one day of everything and be thankful for your partner doing what they did. And actually, when you step back and you look at it in real energy, in real truth, in the real divine purpose of life, you realize that that moment was the most perfect moment of your life. And that had to happen for you to move on, to feel new love, new energy, new understandings, new feelings, new adventures, new paths, whatever's coming, this beautiful newness that's coming into your life. So I wouldn't want to have been with my partner who's sad every day. I mean, that's ridiculous, right? I mean, why do I want to try and fix something that's not fixable? And you know what? The other thought you can have in your head now? Okay, you go, see you later. And they say, wow, really? Say, yeah, because you know what? If we're meant to be together, there's nothing that anybody can do or any person can try and do and force. If we're meant to be together, we will. And the same is said, if we're not meant to be together, there's nothing I can do or you or anybody else can do. If we're not meant to be together, we won't be. So now I know that inside my heart, I'm just going to let it be. And let's see what happens. I love you. I'd like to be with you. And that's it. But if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. But I'm here to support you. And if you ever need somebody to talk to, I'm here. Because I'm not going to abandon you at the point where you feel so bad. Yeah, but I've cheated on you and I feel so bad. It's okay. It is what it is. We just move forward. And if I can live with it and you can live with it, then we can live with it. If that's the case, if it's just a case of the person just isn't happy in their life. You know what? Well, I've been with them this long. I haven't been able to help them. So maybe they should go off on their own for a little bit and let them find their life and I'll get on with my life. And yeah, I'm not going to hope that you come back to me. But if you do, then you do. And if I end up being with somebody else, I end up being with somebody else. But let's see what happens. But I'm not going to fight over this. I'm not going to get solicitors and lawyers and talk to my brothers and sisters and tell them how horrible you are and share this message all over social media that you've done this and you've done that. I'm just going to see it this way. There is a bigger picture. And that bigger picture is that all of the things that are happening right now are exactly as they're meant to. And my rejections are Spirit's protections. So I'm being protected. I don't know why, because I'm feeling pain, because my brain tells me this is all my fault or your fault. But deep down, there's a bigger picture. And I'm going to trust in that. And I'm not going to hate, because hate is too heavy a burden on my shoulders to live with. and it's going to make me feel ill. I'm not going to be jealous because I am a beautiful soul and I know I am worthy of any soul, because when I love somebody, I love them with all my heart and I never let them go. And I'm always there for them and I'm a beautiful soul. So I know my worth. So you're not going to make me feel bad and the situation is not going to make me feel bad. So I'm going to still love you because I'm stronger than that. You're not a fool. Nobody's saying you're a fool. This hasn't got nothing to do with being a fool and a sucker. This is to do with how you feel and how strong you are. So, at that moment when you come to terms with the fact that you can either slip into darkness right now and hate and sadness and depression, and I've got to tell you, all of those feelings and energies are not going to do you any good, or your children or your friends or your family, and you. It's not going to do you any good. It's only going to make you feel worse and worse and worse. Do you need to go through that? Sometimes you do. But I say to you, you have a choice of how long you go through that. And you can snap yourself out of it at any given moment and change and say, okay, I've done that now. I've felt that now. And now I'm going to be stronger. And I'm not going to let that affect me anymore. Because you know what? If that keeps affecting me, how can I get on with life? Who's going to come and talk to me when I'm feeling depressed and down? I'm only going to encourage people who are depressed and down to be with me. And I don't want to be like this. I want to be happy and strong. I want to have a lovely life, and my life's important. Your life's important too, but my life's important. And I deserve happiness, and I'm going to work on that. And that is what I'm only ever going to have in my life. And then when you realize that, when you start to build on yourself and focus on yourself and forget about all of that nonsense, when you build on that, you start to realize, hey, you know what? I actually think I'm worth more. And thank you for showing me that. Because actually, I was always down here when I was with you. I was never really up there because I was always trying to help you or trying to fix you. And you know what? It's about time I need to be on my own and find my happiness and strength. And if somebody does come into my life, then I only want somebody as strong and as happy and loving and kind and as caring and respectful as I am to them. So thank you for showing me that. And now, all of a sudden, magic comes in. The universe hears you. You put out that energy there. Hey, and guess what happens? So in the end, fear, depression, darkness only holds you back, only keeps you down, never brings you forward and never helps, and only prolongs the pain. That is an illusion. Because when you realize what your partner or ex-partner went through and did, you realize it had nothing to do with you. And that was their issue. And it doesn't matter if they were with 150 different women or men, they would still go through the same thing. It's nothing to do with you. So my message today is filled with love. I am a living proof that I am thankful for my first marriage and what happened. At the time, it was painful, but wow. Looking back, would I still want to be in that marriage? Actually, she was bloody right. It was time. And it was only my ego and my pride that held me there. So I am thankful for her wisdom. And I hope every day that she's found the inner peace inside her. And I only have great joy and thank you for the experience and bringing a beautiful little boy into this world, and me sharing that experience every now and again with him, and now becoming more stronger as a bond between each other, more now than ever before. And I look at my life and think, wow, from my last marriage to where I am now, it's like it's all as it should be. And where I am right now is where I'm meant to be. And where I'll be taken to, and I don't know where that is, but I know it's exactly where I'm going. And I will trust in that. And I will not fear it. no matter what the situation is. I trust my path with all my heart, and thank you for guiding me even at the times when it feels like I don't want to be guided. I know that you know deep down what's good for me, and I will trust in that. And I am here today to tell you, if you're watching this, that this is no accident that after 30 minutes you're still watching this. It is no coincidence. It is your family in the spirit world who are there whispering to you this message. You told me to help you at this moment move forward in your life, because your life now is worth so much more. And what you're about to do is going to be the most amazing months and years of joy, happiness, love, and self-healing that you could ever imagine, that you could never have in the relationship that you are just moving away from. So, this is your moment. Today I'm here with an open heart to say everything will be well, a big massive cuddle to you, and to say that you are a warrior. And the most important thing you need to know is this: only the lion goes through the most challenging pain. Only the strongest of warriors goes through the most challenges in this life. So what you're going through only shows me how powerful you really are. This is your day. It is the first day of the rest of your life. In fact, you haven't even started living yet. Get ready for the joy. Let go of the suffering. Let go of the pain. Be supportive no matter what. Be the stronger. And smile and say, this is my life. And this is exactly what I'm about to do. Flow and let the magic present itself. And it will. From my heart to yours, have a beautiful day. Take care.